Going live, 1 second.
Hi.
Hi.
Are there lots of people in this room? How can we find out if there are people in this room?
We can wait a bit and let people...
Is there sign of life? I hear birds again. Maybe it's the birds from...
It's true.
But yeah.
Show non-video participants.
7 people are watching. You're live on YouTube now.
Okay. When should we start? Okay. Okay. Hi, guys. Sorry that it's taken us so long to sort this out. There were a few technical issues. I would like you to start, before we talk about all these things, I would like you to start by maybe just introducing yourselves. I know that Anna has been described by some people as a modular synthesizer architect, as well as a visual designer. And I know that FJAAK have been described by some people as a techno boy band, or maybe even the Take That of techno. But rather than all these labels, I think it's better if you guys just kind of talk about who you are a little bit for the people who are hopefully in the room.
Yeah, so I'm Felix, and we got Aaron on the other end, and yeah, we are FJAAK. We're making music. We're coming from Berlin, or more especially, we're coming from Spandau. And yeah, we are happy to be here and looking forward to talk things and music with all of you.
Okay. Description, music description. You're okay with this boy band thing?
Yeah, it sounds cool. It's okay.
Nice.
I don't mind.
I mean, we function like a band, and we're mostly playing live. And yeah, we're apparently boys. So yeah, I think it's okay if you're.
I think it's kind of cute because techno can sometimes really take itself super seriously. So I think it's really good that you're not. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, no, all good here. Yeah.
Okay, so Anna, I would love to hear a bit more about you. I'd not heard so much about it. I listened to some of your music. I really, really liked it. So just tell us.
So I'm Anna Z or Z. I don't know.
I asked myself this question before. Is she Anna Z or is she Anna Z? I say she's Anna Z, but you can be whatever you want to be, Anna Z.
Z is better, I think.
Okay, cool.
So I'm from Russia, from Komi Republic. It's really far in the north, and I moved to Berlin to study here and to be later to be a part of art scene with contemporary art and installation, sound installation, sculpture. And now I study master in the University of Art, and yeah, try with music for fun and for, I don't know, like.
What masters are you studying?
I study a master in architecture. It's like a lot of parts of architecture, like outside or inside or landscape, a lot of things. Also coding or scripting architecture, parametric architecture.
Ah, okay, so you are actually an architect, not just a sound architect. Now I get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, interesting. I think I'm going to start with the idea of error and luck, right? I think, you know, all of us probably all started off as consumers of music before we started making music. And I think when you consume music, you always think that your hero basically has never made a mistake in their whole life, and that every single note of music they've written was intentional or planned. But I think I know, after making music now for like over 15 years, that the best stuff is, for me, usually unintentional. You intend to do something, you entirely fuck it up, and then you're like, actually, that is the best bit. I can just dump everything else And that's how I feel so much in terms of the way that I've made music in my life. And I just wanted to know how you guys kind of feel about this, or whether what I'm saying is bullshit.
I think it's a really nice point. I mean, recently we were with a lot of really nice guys in the studio, and we wanted to do it since a long time, and finally we had time to really be with them in the studios, and actually with the numbers it was okay to meet up with them. And it was again amazing to just recognize that the most amazing stuff, mostly it's just coming out of nowhere, and there's like sometimes even like magic in the machines, and I mean, you need to know how to trigger the machines to get the magic out of the machines, but there's a lot of random inside, and you need to capture the random, which is sometimes like pure magic from the machines. And yeah, I think that's what also makes like producing music so nice, because it's not just like being a mathematic or something, like you know how to structure it or something. There's a lot of stuff just coming from inspirational, like it's just coming out of a jam or something, but you didn't thought like you want to do it like that, but then apparently it happens and you're like, okay, what the fuck, let's forget what we did before, let's take this, and it's just yeah,
it can be,
special.
for example, just be pressing the wrong button or something. For example, we've been in the studio and we've been jamming and working on a rhythm for like a long time, and then you wanted to change just like maybe one kick drum pattern or whatever, and then you accidentally change the whole thing, and it's a totally different set of samples. The sequences stay the same, and you're gonna sit there and after like probably spending half an hour doing in rhythm, and then this one is just done by itself by accidentally pushing the wrong button. So but the thing is, it's like, I mean, stuff like this, it's also depending on luck. It can be random. I mean, you can push that button and the whole preset is destroyed and all your work is gone, and you're gonna be like sitting there actually been wasting your time the last 30 minutes. So you have to understand when something good happens, but you also have to understand when something bad happens unintentionally. You know what I mean?
Filter. You need to filter it.
Yeah, you need to filter. And in general, this is something. This is coming to a next point. Like, I think, like, to filter and to actually understand what is good right now and what is not so good or what is bad. This is something that is more important than lots of people might expect.
The selection of the songs.
I think the way I say it is that everyone is an artist, but you have to also be a curator. You basically have to be able to curate your own shit. Literally be like, this is shit, forget about it, and nobody should ever hear this. Just die on my hard drive. I never made this. But this is the magic. So in the end, it's about probably being able to make choices and having clear wishes or an identity in a way, like, which means, what do I like? What do I don't like? Do I like clean sounds? Do I like dirty sounds? What kinds of things do I genuinely like? What speaks to me, you know? And do you want to say something about that, Anna, about error, the idea of chance?
I have a really funny story about it. For example, it was some of my and Jimene live performances in Rote Zone in Munich, and actually it was only once, and but I have forgot really important cards for one module. It's delay feedback module from TikTok, and I have forgot it at home. So everything what we have playing like a jam improvisation with some atmospherical sounds in the set, it was I thought it was destroyed, but Johannes had like only for luck his first pedal, effect pedal by him in the back, and we use it, and it was not what we played. It was like a really old and really static standard delay and feedback, but it works better. I thought later it works better, and we tried to recreate this sound because the acoustic from the club was also no, different and spezial.
Specific. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, but it didn't work at the home studio because we have another acoustic and this delay pedal. It was only like we know it, not like in this live performance. It was error from me, but it works. Was
Yeah,
luck.
it can
Right.
be about the environment as well. This is what
Yeah.
you want to say, right? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you're gonna be like, wow, we gotta try this at home, and then you're gonna be like, okay, no, that was just happening very well in the club.
Actually, we have like the Yomok story. We apparently always say in this conversations. You want to tell it, Felix? You can tell it better. This
oh, Aaron, go on. You can tell.
Okay, we have like the Yomox X-Base 09. It's called X-Base because it's made in Kreuzberg. This is why it's X-Base. And
this one, by the way, here.
Yeah, it's made by one guy, like a really nice engineer, and he's really crazy. And we changed like the, you even can see right now it's cracking up, right? Like,
yeah,
like
it's still broken. Yeah.
we changed the tempo like from 1 to, I think it can go to 999, right?
Yeah.
And we went up and down and up and down. And then after some time, it just completely broke inside the digital system, and it was just randomly triggering stuff and doing LFOs on every oscillator, on every instrument. And every time there was coming else out, and we just recorded for like the whole day. It was just, we just sit it next to it, and we were like, whoa, oh.
It was never repeating itself. It was like always creating new shit. And then most of the stuff, like, I don't know why, but it kind of felt like if something switches off, then something else switched on. And this kind of made most of the rhythms, I won't say all of them, but most of them pretty intelligent. Like, I mean, like, because sometimes it, like the hi-hat switched off the snare drum, which was running before, but then the hi-hat was pretty quiet, and then it was just maybe like only the off hits on the hi-hat that switched off the snare drum and stuff like that. And then it's super crazy. Stuff can happen like this super fast. There's also synthesis, like for example, like the DX7. Like, I mean, in general, FM synthesis offers just so much like possibilities that like you can change one parameter, maybe just the direction how the oscillators influence each other, and everything you've done before is completely different. Yeah, and by accident it can be super good or super bad as well, of course.
It sounds like a data bender from COVID. One model you can destroy and crash everything, and you can't with the whole and
repeat.
Can repeat it again. Thank you.
It sounds like voodoo to me. Like basically the machine is being possessed by something else.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this?
It's actually running on. I'm sorry for interrupting, but can you
It's okay.
imagine that we did this like a few years ago and we switched it off a few times as well, but it's still running. I mean, it's really not.
It's possessed, man. It's possessed.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this Pink Floyd documentary from them in Pompeii? And they're like totally on acid the whole time, and they're like, it was the machines that made us do it. And you're just like, it reminds me of that, you know, the idea of when the machines get a brain of their own and just like fuck humanity.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this whole kind of importance of luck and error, it's just like communicating to other people who make music out there that I don't know, it is exactly what you, Aaron, said. Is that Aaron on the right? Sorry, I have to ask this. Put your hand up, Aaron. Exactly. Thank you, Aaron. So Aaron also said, this kind of unintentional way. Apart from that, being at the right place at the right time is something we also talked about. It sounds really cheesy, like you're in Hollywood and you're at a party and then this like director comes up and that's it, your stripping career has started, you know? But not that necessarily, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Can go this way as well. Like,
is there anything you guys can point out to which was like a pivotal moment which just changed your life? If you'd not been drunk in the corner of Ohm Club, you never would have met so-and-so, and then you never would have.
I think that like for us, there's multiple events, and I think as we're also two people, we have like maybe some of them are like a little bit different to one. But for example, one of them was just like 2 years ago. Aaron and me, we played the opening set of the Fusion Turmbühne. Like there's lots of dope stages, but this was kind of like the one we were aiming to play at when we were super young. and Aaron was literally crying like
First time, like
crocodile.
it was the first time ever. Like
crocodile tears.
I'm not.
I couldn't believe it. Like, this guy's so tough. Yeah, we like he can travel the whole world in 5 days and with no sleep and rave. And then I saw him crying and I had to cry as well because I realized that he was crying because we went to the festival while not even being allowed to be there when we were 16 years old or something like this.
So I saw myself like being there and like the Turmbine, like that. It's crazy. It's so sick. Wait. They close it. So the whole floor is empty and they are like in front of it, just waiting that they're
like
open.
before the football.
Yeah, and just waiting that they're open. Like the whole festival is open, but not the Turmbine. So you see the people in the far, like hundreds of meters away, you see them all waiting, and it's like 8,000 people, and everybody's just waiting for the moment. And then they open it up, and they're all running to you at the Turmbine, and you're just like, fuck.
And that's when you cried, or you cried more in the middle or the end?
Before, because I was knowing
during.
Yeah, he cried, and then all this shit happened. I think there was like lots of different stations where he could start to cry. Like, there was like multiple stations
before, during, after. Yeah,
tears coming back again, and like it was super fun. But you could, like, I mean, you play so many shows and so much stuff, and you experience so much. And then like this year, I mean, we've been everywhere. Like from, I don't know, like we've really been everywhere, from like Singapore to like Chile to Brazil to New York, Canada, wherever. But like then you play this one show and suddenly you come back to the very, very point you started at. Like,
yeah, but Fusion is just special. Come on, let's be honest. I mean, everyone cries on the Turmbine. For me, it's the same. I've actually played at Fusion 16 times in my life. But before that, I went once as a consumer, and I mean a consumer in the hardest sense of the word. And I went for like a week. I was on that Turmbine out there, like flying with those fairies, with the glitter, you know what I mean? Right? But so it is emotional when you come back and you're like, wow, I'm not a good consumer anymore in the way I'm sharing what I do with these people. For sure, I get that. I mean, especially somewhere like Fusion, which has...
It's changing the sides, yeah.
Also, to be honest, I've played at so many festivals all over the world, but I've never played at a festival with 60,000 people with no visible security and no visible advertising. This is like off the fucking hook. This is off the hook. It's sensational.
And just vegetarian food. There's no meat at all.
Also, I love this. I'm sure you get illegal... You can get illegal wurst. There's always illegal wurst on the camping site. Okay.
I haven't seen it, but like they have this chai tea, for example. This one chai tea is, in my opinion, you can get it basically on the whole festival, but everybody has his own recipe, and it's like all of them are good.
Look how much love Fusion is getting right here in this chat, man.
I need to go there again so much. Never needed more in my life to go there, and I always thought I need to go there. Like it was always for sure that I have to be there when it's happening. But now after this year,
I agree. I totally agree. Just off the chain. Anna, have you ever? Is there anything you can talk about in terms of experiences, or have you played Fusion and did you cry?
Actually, I have some story where I was crying, but it's not. It's more drama, but it's okay.
When you missed your aeroplane on tour, that's when I cry. I missed the plane, and I'm just like on the floor crying, and it's embarrassing, and I'm black, and I'm in the airport. It's not cool, but it happens. Carry on. Sorry. When do you cry?
It was in one club. I was there not for playing, only for being there and enjoy the party. My friend was playing, and somebody in the staff room asked me, okay, hey, you are a girl, where's your boy, and from them, who is your boy, and when can we ask about you? It was like that I'm not a person, I'm only a thing. I don't know.
What did they want to ask about you?
Yeah, they ask who is your boy, and who can answer us the question why you're here, and why what are you doing here. And it was not so friendly in the moment, but it was okay. And I go outside and cry a little bit. But 1 year later, I was standing in the same club and play live there, and it was the moment in which I was cry again and say, "Fuck off, I'm here." And
you're like,
now you know why I'm here.
And it was your backstage and all your drinks and all your bitches and all your groupies, for sure, man. Nice. Okay. I mean, we're all here for self-affirmation in the end, right? We're artists, so it's what we're looking for. I was going to ask you a little bit about crew, because like FJAAK obviously like 4 people, am I right? 4 people?
15.
15, okay. 4 visible members, another 11 invisible members.
So we started out to be 4 people. This actually also a name is coming from just from the beginning letters of different names. And then after different stuff happened and people went their own ways, we kind of split up more and more. And now we are like a duo. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If we talk about being a band, it's actually still true because we play multiple instruments. So yeah, I'm like, do you know these guys that play all the stuff on the streets? And
you're a 2-man band. I'm a 1-woman band.
Yeah, we like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, band is I mean, it's funny. I'm about to talk about crew, and crew can be really amazing because it can really nurture you, but it can also be like a bad marriage at some point. It could be like most toxic family ever, but it can also be.
For us, it's also like an ongoing change. I mean, for example, like right now we have a big crew. If we come somewhere, we play somewhere, it's not only us 2 coming. There's like other people coming with us. Some of them are just like supporting us. Some of them are just ravers.
But I mean, we are also Anna is part of. We have like a Spandau 20 crew of lots of members from mostly Spandau and from really close people from us, and I think that's our family and crew. And
yeah,
putting Spandau on the map.
Definitely, yeah.
But what I was going to say in terms of crew, what I was going to say is like, I mean, for me, I moved to Berlin like 20 years ago, and for sure the city has nurtured me. I've learned so much in the city. People have really shared stuff with me, and for sure I'm a result of my environment. You put yourself in an environment where people are creative, experimental, positive, supportive, and now I'm going to get to it, diverse, and hopefully an environment which offers some intersectionality in terms of race and gender and all of that. I mean, people have asked me a lot about how it is to be a woman in the music industry. To be honest, I had really helpful dudes. They were like, go and buy a sound card, go and get your Genelecs, just go and buy it. People lent me stuff. People were not like, hey, fuck off, you're not coming in. People were nice to me, but that's because I'm in a nice environment in Berlin. And I just wanted to talk about crew, environment, who you choose to have around you, who can inspire you, and what you can also do for other people who are also on a learning curve. You know, like I've got to say, every time I collaborate with someone, still they'll show me some weird function on Ableton I'd never thought about using in my whole life. And I'm sure that's true for all of you. So this whole idea of collaboration and also, diversity in your environment. How is that for you guys? All of you, and you I didn't mean guys, I mean all of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, the question is pretty big, so I'm just trying to put like a lot of different parts. But it's starting right here with what we're doing right now, which is a free event. So people are actually here and can listen to us, and we talk about music, we talk about things. I remember myself trying to admit lots of these events and like trying to get inspired by people. So yeah, what we're doing right now, right here, this is very, very good because everybody can come here who kind of has a computer or like a mobile phone. There's no limitations. There's no restrictions. Like you can even listen to different music and just watch our faces right now. And yeah, but I'm now coming to the point, like, I mean, we as a label, for example, we're running events, we are running a mixtape series. As DJs, we are playing events, and yeah, we are always trying to take care, especially of newcomers being able to be on spot, or people who are like underrated in our opinion. Let me say like this. And for example, we do an event at Oxy Club right now. It's like in 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong. It's like in like 10 days, 11 days, and we had like, I think 12 to 10, so that's kind of like 10 hours, and we took 10 DJs in the end because other people might like give everybody but a big slot, but for us it's like a crew thing, and we have lots of youngsters which want to support. For example, like Anna, she's like super talented and she gonna smash that place. And yeah, and we're always trying to look at that. And same for a mixtape series. I mean, we have like, for me, legends, like people who made me do what I'm doing right now. I mean, people like, I don't know, for example, like DJ Rush is doing a mix, and then like Elise is doing her mix, and it's kind of like her fifth mix she's uploading, and she's next to like as a newcomer, she's next to like a DJ who's probably like playing music since 30 years, like I mean, kind of. And yeah, so I mean, but it's not that we thought about it like this and we're looking for like a mission or like trying. We weren't aiming at this. For me, it's logically like,
yeah.
I mean,
also, it can come really
newcomers,
naturally.
new people. We want new flash,
Exactly.
new music, new inspiration.
Sure.
Give us your inspiration. You know, we need
For sure,
everybody.
if you're hungry for information from other people and you're communicative, then you will find it naturally easy to have a diverse environment, I guess, to be honest.
And
you know?
you have to put no limits, like, and you even have to accept something which you maybe don't understand in the very first place, 100%, because it might push you on. And we're trying to surprise ourselves. We also like we also requested people that people are going to be surprised that we are working with them, for example. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, we're trying to improve this all the time. I mean, this can be improved, and yeah, it's an ongoing process.
I mean, I think even in track lists, like if I'm DJing or if I'm doing a mixtape, I think I find it's super hilarious to play like some 160 BPM ghetto gabba from Tanzania next to some weird chick from China making deconstructed club music, also a similar BPM. For me, it's political. Like literally mixing the two tracks between those two actors is political. If you think about what China is doing in Africa and what Africa has as a world, to me,
I totally
it's
understand
like
what you mean.
super interesting.
Yeah.
And it's the same if you do it on a lineup, or you do it in your mixtape, or if you do it on your compilation, or you know, I think it's interesting. I think a lot of things are actually political, you know, what you decide to do, you know, is also kind of political, you know. Like
it can also be just what you choose to play. I mean, for example, there's tracks. I mean, I remember last days we were hanging out with Ski Mask, and we were listening to, like, you got a huge load from Discogs coming. I think it was coming from the States, because I saw the sticker on the package. So he was waiting for it quite some time. And some of them were actually blind buys, like music you can't listen to on the internet, like records nobody had. Some of them were some of the very old, the first Baltimore ones. So it's like legendary music, and been influencing lots of people we admire. And like we were listening to some vocals on the tracks, and some vocals were just like super sexistic and aggressive and stuff like that. And there was a moment where just like, without somebody said something, we were looking at each other and kind of at the same time said like, yeah, I could never play stuff like this, just because the vocals kind of like had a content of sexual harassment and stuff like that, where you're gonna
absolutely,
like,
and also
you can do something else, you know. Why the fuck?
For sure.
Like, and then it's also like, for me it's the same. It's like you can listen to these autotune rappers doing like, but listen to the charts right now, like 50% of the lyrics is just shit. They're talking shit about women. They're talking shit about like how they behave. They're talking shit about stuff they don't even own themselves, money they don't even earn. And that's like, yeah, I mean, this is especially what I like about techno. There's so less space for this. Like we are like kind of like doing at least the lyrics are not so. We just don't have so many lyrics, you know. There's just not so much space to just say bullshit. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like who you are. You've got to choose what you play. Like for you to play those tracks would be probably impossible. You're going to get tomatoes chucked at you. Whereas if I play those tracks, then I'm like talking about harassment in the music industry.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's so we are in exactly different positions as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, one thing I found super exciting was when like Gagan started their parties around 2010, where a bunch of completely non-binary queer people started all listening to like almost homophobic dancehall influenced tracks and like footwork, juke, all stuff which was classically before that not really an area which non-binary people were listening to. For me, I found this super interesting. I thought it was amazing that this was suddenly kind of crossing over in a way, also political. I've got a question for Anna from the rounds. Question for Anna. Anna, what would you recommend for a startup with a Euro rack?
Oh,
I love Modular, but I'm not sure how to start.
yeah,
Good question.
Yeah, I like such questions about Modular.
Yeah.
I have some ideas what I can recommend. For example, so clearly you can use Modular like effect line for some distraction sounds or delays or feedbacks, but also you can use like a classic modular stuff, oscillators, and
Like a
to
synthesizer.
get some to like classic synthesizer with for example, I have here 3 oscillators from Rubicon. It's analog oscillator, really cool, and 2 from Mutable Instruments. It's a digital oscillator with a 16 voices, 16 setting, and you can start with it really quickly to try different sounds, and of course you need some sequencer. It's very cool because at the first time we didn't have some sequencer, and it was only like a one track, and you deform it and so. But you can't save the preference. For example, to perform it like a live set, it's a little bit difficult without a sequencer. But for the first time, also if you want to try Modular, you can start, for example, with some samples like from Make Noise. Morphogen, it's with really small cards, micro SD, and you can create your samples or download some samples or feed recording and snap it in the computer in some program for it, or in Ableton also with the Q points, and then you can only this model and output, and you can destroy the samples, play it, and create some crazy shit with it. Yeah.
Anna, can I ask you a question? Because I think I remember when you were starting, you were going a lot to Schneider's Laden, right?
Yeah.
And trying the modules out, because otherwise in the beginning, to for example make sound, you have to buy multiple ones, right? I mean, like if you only have a filter or if you only have an oscillator, you can't do so much. As you mentioned, you need maybe like a sequencer or maybe something like this. Can you maybe just mention some modules? I think for other people would be interesting. For example, what is your favorite oscillator and why?
Yes, I actually my first model. It's from Make Noise Mysteron. It's not like oscillator or not effect. It's some magic or different thing. The company says it's really mystery. That's why it calls names Mysteron, and it's the sounds between electro guitar and some drums. Really hard, but also if you use some delay or feedback, you can create some different stuff with this basic sounds, 2 sounds, drums or guitar. But yes, Schneidersladen was really important for me because it's a lot of things, and every week you have from all over the world new stuff, or for example, super booth. You can try everything and ask the how I can say the people who created how it works and why they do it, and how you can combine it with your stuff what you have at home. Yeah.
And they're super passionate there. So if you go there, they won't stop telling you what to buy next. They're like, okay, and this is insane, and then buy this, and then you can create this, and it's insane. It's endless like models.
Also for Anna, it's like what I think is really special about you as a musician, by the way, is the approach to Modular might be different than other people expect, because she even built some own modules, like, and I mean, it's not that it's like so easy, you know. It's not that everybody can do it. So I mean, you can get like plans how to do it, and or like repeat what somebody else did before. But Anna, she really thought about it, and she did like her own oscillator, for example. And I think that like it's like, because coming back to the question that initially was asked, it's super hard to answer, because in the end it's about like a combination of modules. Like, I mean, I could also see Anna when Anna was answering, the answer like expired, like, and got bigger and bigger, expanded more and more, and yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how it is, right? And yeah, to you, Mr. or Mrs. Like whoever or like a robot or android, whoever questioned, it's like a really hard to answer that question. But best is to go to the shop, like Schneidersladen, and try it out. Like try everything out. Go to the shop and really try to understand the parts, because that was like, that helped us the most. Because right now our modular system, they got smaller at the end, and in the beginning they were only growing, you know.
Do they sell modular stuff in Just Music?
Yeah, as well.
Because then you can try it out and take it back.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that's possible as well with Schneidersladen.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But I mean, like keep in mind that this is really stuff that is easy to break. It's like so yeah. I mean, I think you can easily take this home and just move some contacts, and you can't give it back anymore.
But you can try it there.
You can buy used in Kleinanzeigen, like eBay, some stuff. I mean, if it's
buy used ones.
Better to buy new, but if it's an oscillator or some effect, I mean, you must ask for was it in music studio, or was it a lot of time for live performance? So yeah. For example, Aaron and Felix had some filter, and the knobs were really
like fucked up. I think we took it to Brazil. We took it to Brazil one time. The one Brazil tour, the humidity was so high that like after 2 weeks the machines were like yeah, and I think it was even sweat which was dripping from our arms, from the hands into the machines, stuff like that. Yeah, like live equipment is totally different than studio equipment. So what Anna says is totally recommendable, like buying like used studio equipment for modules, because you can, if you don't like them, you can probably sell them for the same price.
I guess no price depreciation. We've got a couple of questions. One is a question for the whole round for all of us. When you are producing music, whilst creating, do you get concerned? Do you concern yourself with mastering? Sometimes when in the moment of producing, I start to worry, is that right or wrong? Did you guys get the question?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it's definitely something to worry about. I mean, when we make music, we always think about the technical aspect of it as well. Like, I mean, there's some music where you're gonna be like, okay, that's not gonna be played in super big rooms with lots of power. That's music that people are going to listen at home on the headphones. There's a different approach to it. But for example, if you make a kick drum, we work on stuff like this for hours sometimes, and Like there's like a really technical approach, and in my opinion, I mean, we had tracks already where we got messages like, yeah guys, the song sounds finished, I'm gonna put like a small resonance here, and from really good mastering studios where I never thought that we're gonna get it's a nice answer actually. It's showing you that you did everything right, but or almost everything. But sometimes it can fuck you up in your creative process, because you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this needs to be very, very punchy, but maybe you have this super muffy sound, and while thinking about to change it, you're gonna fuck it up.
I mean,
I think it's, sorry.
Sounds like a weird question, but what's the point of having a super pumping bass drum for a track that's just mediocre? You see what I'm saying? Like if you make a track,
exactly. No, this is gotta take care about what it is, what it should be.
Okay, sorry, Aaron, please carry on.
I think it's about the references. It's really important that you not just listening your stuff at your own place all the time, because then you don't know how it functions on a different place. And for me, learning how my monitors are is also to understand how it sounds. If it sounds in my environment like this, then I know, okay, it will sound like that in a club, and you need to transfer it. And you can just transfer it if you tried a lot of different speakers, and then again at your place, and then you know, okay, there it's different because of that and that, and this is how it is then here, and then you start to understand how it should sound in your place. You know what I mean? So in the end, it's not, you don't need the best space and the best
but
place.
Comparisons.
Yeah, you need to understand the place where you are. That's the biggest point about it. It's like you can have the weakest headphones, but if you know how they sound and how you can transfer the sound of your headphones compared to a different place, because you have experienced it a lot of times, then you know how to do it. Like this is, I think, the learn process.
Yeah.
Like to understand your monitors.
I totally agree. I know people who produce on iPhone headphones, weirdly.
Exactly.
And that's just a reference for them. They know their reference.
I mean,
and
it would be a lie, like if we would say that we kind of listen to all of the tracks we do on headphones as well. And then of course, I mean,
absolutely.
the Apple ones, I mean, as most of the people just have them, it's a pretty...
You have to check them, sure.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, there's even tracks digital nowadays, people don't know it, but there's different mastering for Beatport than for Spotify, for example. Just because people know that the listeners on Spotify function different than the listeners on Beatport. So,
definitely.
Yeah. So there's even like, I mean, it's crazy, but it can be like in stronger upper mid high range section, just being louder on your phone speakers, for example, which
definitely
makes sense on Spotify, and then like the track is still mixed for the clubs on Beatport. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have just experience with it, but like we haven't done it on our own. Like we just have this one sound, and then it has to be okay for everybody on all these platforms.
I mean, I always double check just on my horrible MacBook speakers, and I double check on that horrible JBL box, which every asshole has, and then it's a bit depressing, but okay, at least you know. Yeah,
I mean, right now we're like in a moment of change as well. Some people who are in this chat or in this live session, they will know about it. There's playlists on Apple Music, on Spotify, which are Dolby Atmos. So the music is surround, and it's not only left and right. It's like 5.1 stuff like this, and even more complex. And there's playlists with only music like this. And then, for example, I have a friend, and we sit in the living room and we listen to music all day. And yeah, old school hip hop, and we go left, right, like we don't think about it, sounds dope. And then after a few hours, he accidentally switches the playlist to this Dolby Atmos playlist, where suddenly all the other speakers in the room play signals as well. And yeah, I realized how crazy this is, because it's just music, but then the guitar is not coming from left or right, it's coming from like there, and it's coming, and the one singer might, it's really crazy. It's like yeah, music can be mixed, not only stereo, can be mixed more complex.
It's what's it called? ASMR? Is that the say? It's kind of similar, right? The whole ASMR idea.
ASMR is something different. Like ASMR usually is used from people. They're kind of like going live, like they're going live on like YouTube or whatever, or like mostly I think it's happening on Twitch. It's called autonomous sensory meridian response, and it's mostly done with like, I mean, with really good quality, high-end stereo microphones. And some people, they even have like it's kind of like a head, which has like a microphone. It looks like a human head and has like even ears, and then microphones which are like in your ear, and then people gonna be like playing around with it. For example, if I would be like, put like stuff like this, you know, people like sounds like this. They're whispering. Stuff like this. And this is, yeah, it's super successful.
Dude, I can't wait for your solo record. It's gonna be like that, right?
Coming soon. No, they will never come. No. Me and Aaron are like one person. It's just like these two screens. They make a different imaginary. Like, let me say, it's just a vision of two people right here. But you gotta think about these screens gonna slide into each other.
Wow, that was deep, guys.
Look, can you see Aaron is drifting away and me at the same time?
Okay. Listen, I got a question for FJAAK. Would you ever sign music by an artist in NYC, New York City, or other places? Or do you only sign Berlin artists? That's the question.
We would sign everybody from around the world. Doesn't matter where.
Doesn't matter where it is.
I knew you were going to say that.
But we are super picky with music in general, and it's not about like it's completely like no matter where it's from and who's done it, but yeah.
But also it needs to be divided. Like Spano 20 is an imprint for guys we know since like 20 years. They're like really like family for us, really important persons. And right now it was more like a family thing, but we want to create a new label soon. I think we can say that, where we also want to do some, or it's an extra series of Spano. We're not sure yet, but we want to.
Yeah, like right now we had some guests, for example, like Steffi or Norman Notch, and now we did some music with Miss Kitten as well, and it's not
lots of people.
These people are not from Spano. Miss Kitten, she's from French, for example, from France, and it's but still on this record there's also Toby, which is like a old school homie for us since, I don't know, 10 years or something like this. And like, I mean, it's not that we are like, there's no real concept behind it. It's not that we have like a milestone plan or something that we want to reach. It's just like really like friends and homies putting out music. Yeah. And I mean, from the outside, it might look well organized, but it's actually, I mean, some of you guys know Aaron and me, so you can imagine how it's going, right?
I mean, it was also like giving a platform for like people for me who are doing like the most inspirative music I heard the last years. Yeah. And I was always like, wow, that track is from ANNA Z or from Anna or whoever. And I was like, wow, that's cool shit. Why is it not coming out?
Yeah, for example, we have a Locked Groove record coming soon, where, for example, Anna did some Locked Grooves, but the whole crew, like, I mean, there's like 40 Locked Grooves on it, like 20 per side, and there's like everybody from Anna to Ellie to Tobi Neumann to Klaus, and I mean, yeah, if you got dope music, you can just send it to us, and there's somebody who will listen to it, and if it's fitting to us, then we will try to make it happen, definitely, for sure. But like, as well as Aaron is saying, we are like, also we have lots of stuff in the pipeline already.
But we are working on a new kind of imprint or side series where we want to definitely give other people a chance to feature. So please send us good stuff. Yeah, we are looking for good stuff to support new talented artists for sure.
Okay. There's another question for the whole round saying, I struggle with knowing what I feel is me and what I enjoy when others play it. How do I find my voice?
Can you say it again? Can you repeat the question?
Sure. It says, I struggle with knowing what I feel is me and what I enjoy when others play it. How do I find my voice? So I understand the question as being how to build up your own identity or to know what you are as a musician. That's a question for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, keep in mind that everybody's unique and you just gotta do what you want, and it can't be the same than somebody else is doing already, because you are like only there once. Like everybody who's listening here, you are completely unique. It's a modular patch that nobody else can get, you know? It's like a combination of modules nobody else has. So you just gotta follow and walk the way, and it will happen automatically if you don't only follow the path of somebody who walked it already.
I mean, some people say you're never gonna, that every note of music has been written and that all you're doing is basically making new combinations of different things. I think this is partially true. I mean, it is kind of just new combinations, but yeah, I think it takes time. Everyone makes music for a while till they decide, okay, this is going, this is consistent.
I mean, it's not so true.
I would completely disagree. Completely.
Yeah.
I mean, as we said in the beginning of everything, like machines are special, and music has a lot of special, and it's not just like mathematics stuff like G-Dur or whatever, and then combinations of chords or anything, or drums and rhythms. No, it's completely not. There's so much. This is the beginning of it. But then if you go more into it in electronic music, especially, there's so much else. We are talking about new harmonics they're creating. It's like micro harmonics and stuff. Like this is the beginning.
Yeah.
Of it.
But the question is whether it's existed before, maybe in an unrecorded format.
No. Yeah,
as
maybe,
in, I mean,
okay.
we've only been recording music since when? 1900. That's a very short period of time. Humans have been making music for a very long time.
Let me do an easy example. Well, this is not true. So we just gonna let's talk masses. Let's talk numbers. So remember, like 10, 15 years ago, people saying that everything is done in music. We're only repeating ourselves. Listen to the charts right now and listen to the charts like 10 years ago. For example, like listen to musicians like Tyler, the Creator. Like this guy is
for sure, absolutely
revolutioning, and
absolutely.
And again, and there's like thousands of artists, and especially electronic music. There's people like, I don't know, Richard Devine, but as well Ski Mask, or like millions of other artists that are like creating new shit that maybe reminds you of something that you have heard before, or maybe features a sound or something. But I think that this is like, especially like jazz, or like, let me say, piano has notes, and but for example, a violin, you can like move between the notes, so you won't even be able to put your finger on the same position.
Same spot. So I agree. I think if we would all cook a curry, I look at it as cooking. Everyone's going to get the same ingredients and we're all going to cook. And nobody's thing, it will always be different, but the elements are the same. That's what I mean by they're just combinations of different things. And it's what you put in there which determines what makes yours original, authentic, really you. That's kind of how I see it. I really think that music is like cooking.
Yeah,
with no recipe, with like no recipe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So if we all get some corn, and yeah, we're all gonna eat some corn in the end. I know what you mean. One might be burned, one might be sweet, one might be salty. But for me, it's like, if you say it like this, then everybody's just music, and everything is just music, and everybody's just a musician, stuff like this. But I think it's about the detail you choose yourself to look at it. And for me, there's like, I can hear so many differences and so many sounds that I mean, it's not that I'm totally disagreeing. It's just like, for me, it's just too easy to say it like that. So,
what did you want to say, Anna? Say hi to your cat.
Yeah, hi. So in physics, people say that, so like in science, you can say that the energy can go on. The energy is always there, and you must only take it. And it can be that some other people in the same moment take the same energy, or the kind of this energy, or this idea, or this sound, and create something like what you create in the other point of the planet. But it's not, or in other time, it's not about only one dimension, our time. It's about past, and about maybe future, and now. And I agree with Felix what he said, that it's too simple to say that everything is also there, and music, and it's nothing to do new in this
I think the combination is new. The combination is new, which is new.
Guys.
New, but the ingredients are maybe not entirely new, you know?
Imagine a pencil and a piece of paper, and in the end, it's always a drawing. It's always gonna be a drawing. But for example, like Anna, she's a great painter, like super talented. I mean, they can at least draw as good as they make music. Yeah, which you might. These people are hyper intelligent. This girl here, right, he's like a super woman, by the way. But like you got to keep in mind that when she draws something, I mean, of course, you can say it's a drawing in the end, but it will show something different and express feelings. And this is where it comes to an endless complexity that, in my opinion, is nothing to underestimate. And yeah,
it's not pop music. I mean, in pop music, maybe everything was there and they're just two different combinations. You know, if you look at industry music, but if you look for like music who comes from the soul, I mean, every soul is different. Everybody has different emotions and everybody wants to express something else. Even every day. I mean, tomorrow I want to express something else than today. So every day I go in the studio, something else is coming out. Definitely. And I have it with everybody in the jam. So I think music is unique, and every day it's
unique to that moment, for sure.
Coming out.
It's unique to that moment. I think the most interesting thing about Tyler, the Creator, is that he's the first artist to like get to the top of Billboard or whatever, who basically wrote every note of his music, produced every note of his music. And this is to do with the technological revolution that happened in my generation and in your generation too. Do you know what I mean? You can actually just do this in your house. Even people like Billie Eilish, you know what I mean? Her and her brother sitting around with their Ableton in their parents' house. This is all to do with that kind of revolution. But I think it is really interesting with Tyler, the Creator, for sure, that he's the first person who's been capable of doing that. Before, there was just always some studio team of monkeys from the record label who'd just like take all of your like advance and just be like, hey, you know, and basically to have that much control as an artist, I think is incredible in the era that we're living in, you know?
Yeah, there was a super funny interview, a quick one of Busta Rhymes, and they asked him like for his like 5 most important things when he comes to a studio, and he was like, number 1 is that everything that gets recorded only gets recorded on his hard drive. So when he leaves the studio, all the files are gone, the work is done, and he will be the one with the files, only him.
Control, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's just fitting very well.
And that's something that comes to all of us very naturally, because we've basically grown up in this generation of time where you could just get your own gear, have your own space, not talk to anyone if you don't want to, you know? I
mean, lots of people like nowadays, especially vocalists, they really know pretty well how like a DAW works. They know how, like we record lots of people and all of them know how Ableton works. Like they took like 1 or 2 days where they were kind of like trying to dive into it. And then of course there are people like us who could explain it to them anytime if they have questions, because everybody's using it kind of like in the scene. And it was like, for me, it's just like, you can see how people take these advantages and really use them. Like, and they like this, I know what you want to say, because like 10 years ago, they couldn't have done it like that. And yeah, exactly, this makes stuff happening that hasn't been done before. And with this ongoing change, we have only in Technics, I mean, there's already computer writing hits, like that's already happening. There's stuff that yeah, if people would know this, they would be probably sad about it. But yeah, it's like there's like now we coming to artificial intelligence, stuff like this. There's synthesizers that are going to pitch themselves into tune. There's synthesizers, for example, they're only gonna allow you to play like stuff that is in the right scale right now. And I think this can also be like a step back, for example, because I think, for example, listen to music when people started to use synthesizer for the first time. It got super crazy, super experimental shit happened, and people used it like out of tune, into tune, while the song changed and stuff like that. And I think with ongoing changes in the development of the technical aspects of music, we will have ongoing creations of brand new stuff, hopefully.
Can I just go on to one of the questions from Instagram, because it's leading up from what you just said about synthesizers? Well, it's people are asking, what's your favorite synth, VST, and drum machine? Maybe you'd like to mention one of these. So
the favorite synth, I think everybody of us has a different one, but for me, the Moog 1, it's really sick. It's a really, really sick synthesizer. you got 3 oscillators, you got 4 LFOs, you got dope Moog filters. I mean, I don't have to mention them, but it has like eventide effects on board and stuff like this. But for example, look at this one. This is like, it's only analog. It's from Russia, so I need Anna to understand what the buttons say. I can't even read it myself. And I don't even understand what all the buttons do, but I know how to use it because I used it so many times. And yeah, we got it from a guy he's called Modular. Yeah, if somebody ever needs like a refurbishment or like repairing of his instrument, this guy is the shit. He's called Modular. And yeah, this instrument is like literally the opposite of this one, because this is of course completely modern. This is from 2019, 2020, this one. And this one over here, this is like, it's from the 70s or something. It's like super old. And yeah, these are my favorite ones. Aaron, what are yours?
I mean, they're changing every month, probably, but lately it's the Super Udo 6. Like, it's a really new synth, also came out last year, I guess, and it's made by one guy who's just super passionate about creating synthesizer, and he created his first synthesizer when he was 13 or 14, so he's really, really crazy guy. And this synthesizer looks like a new Super 6, like a Roland Jupiter 6, I mean. This is why it's called Super 6. It has the same layout. But for me, it's like what Roland should have done the last 20 years. Instead of doing the small like copies of their old machines, they should have go for something new. And this machine is new. It has a completely new concept about binaural synthesis, and it's digital synthesis, which goes in an analog way afterwards. So you start clean and then make it dirty, and not the other way around, which was it back then in analog with subtractive synthesis, where you have like analog synthesis, which is super dirty, and then you try to somehow clean it up that it's nice. So I think this principle is just insane. And you have like 6 oscillators on the right side, 6 on the left side. It's like a choir who's just like singing always different, and you don't have to do a lot of stuff. It's just,
Aaron,
for me, it's
isn't
brilliant.
the one where I think the oscillators, it's free oscillation, right?
Huh? It's binaural. It's a binaural synthesis. So
ich meine, die Oszillatoren sind frei.
Sind digital.
Sind die freischwingend, so wie beim Summit und beim Peak?
Ja.
Ja, ich gebe schon her.
Anna, what is your favorite? Anna, what's yours?
Actually, Udo, actually, this one, what Aaron mean is like a big dream for me. I hope I can buy it in the future, maybe in this year. It will be really nice. But now and I think now it's a Digiton, because I can bring it with me in the bed with the headphone and the electricity, and you have 4 voices, and you can create full tracks, or like to sketch your idea really quickly, and to save. You have a lot of properties, and you can save your like your sound, your with your properties. Preset. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and use it later. So if you jam in next time in the club and think, okay, you need some quickly really to improvisate it, and you can use the sketches what you have there and created by yourself. I mean, it's really, really genius, I think. Yeah.
And there's a step sequencer.
Yeah, it's very cool, because sequencer.
There's a way to listen to how Anna's using it on the internet already. For example, we played a set at a CTM festival, and it's crazy. It's like a 360 degrees camera, so you can like move the camera yourself all the time. So it's kind of like an interactive thing, and you can see Anna using it, and she's doing beautiful sounds with it. Yeah.
also MIDI, you can control MIDI with it. You can send MIDI from other thing and use it like a sequencer and combine it with the voices from them, and it's cool. Or for example, we have a Node drum, and I can control drums with this sequencer. It's like a good computer controls, but it functions also itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice synthesizer to start with. I mean, compared to the ones that we said, because the other ones are pretty expensive. Like the Digitone is like in a different range of price. Yeah.
But we also have it. It's the shit. It's really good
it's
synthesizer.
the shit. Yeah, it's the shit.
Really good.
In general, also Digitakt, these small things are super powerful. Super powerful. Electron doing a really good job there.
Mm-hmm. I just want to combine 2 questions from the Instagram people because we don't have so much time left.
Wait, just sorry, because like to complete the question, they were also asking for
VSTs and drum machines.
Also for drums. So let's make it quick, guys. So my favorite drum machine is a TR-909.
Okay. Who'd have guessed? All right, you? Anyone else?
808.
We've got the techno band.
The hi-hats, like it's like if you really have the real queen bass, like, and you put on the hi-hats, like every time I'm blazed, I'm like.
Yeah. Also, our 808 is modded, so we have a sound which is a mix between hi-hat and snare drum. So there's another sound like which is not there usually, and the kick drum we can change the tune, because the original 808 has no tune. So yeah, this 808 is pretty special. Aaron's talking about.
And favorite VSTs as well, because I assume a lot of the people.
What is Anna's drum machine?
Not drum, because you can drum it like analog.
Yeah.
Not drum school.
Yeah, and not drum free. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the shit. That's the shit as well. Yeah. Okay, and now VST. I think it's in free VST, and I can recommend it to anyone. It's called Camel Crusher. Go and get it.
Camel Crusher.
It's for free, yeah. So you should get it.
Anyone else? VSTs?
I mean, for synthesizers, I would recommend FM synthesizers because it's digital synthesis and it doesn't make any difference to the original one. So I would go for the DX7 or M1 from Korg or from Yamaha.
Yeah.
And you, can I lead on to one other thing? Because it's interesting, because I was going to ask you guys a question about whether you guys are purists or not. This is why I'm getting there, because you talked about using the FM7, which is anywhere digital synth, so you're not going to deviate from the original sound. The question I'd had for you guys, for FJAAK, was actually, where is it? Purist. Are you guys purists, or any of you? Do you see yourselves as purists?
Aaron, sind wir Puristen, Aaron? Sind wir puristisch?
Puritans.
Weiß nicht, musst du mir sagen.
Naja, also, I mean, purism.
It's scary, right? As an idea.
I think it can destroy everything you want to do. I think it can be mostly a bad thing for you and your art. And I think that we sometimes tend to go into this direction. For example, sometimes we make music and then everything has to be done analog, and we want to jam this in one session and only record one track.
Sounds quite purist to me, guys.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, sometimes, but then we actually also realize in other moments that we did some destructive stuff right there and we can't turn it back. And there's something we might change and it's just not possible anymore. But still, for example, I have the feeling that in the very moment we start to record everything similar, we already start to lose the magic of the moment. So this question is answered different every day, Aaron, würde ich sagen. Oder? Every session, like.
I mean, we all wake up every day as different people.
Sometimes there's a puristic, sometimes there's a really puristic session where we're only gonna use these two instruments and then, yeah.
And I just want to lead on to one other question, because you do use a lot of analog gear and we just got to purism. Do you have a favorite Ableton device?
So, I mean, we started to play live in Ableton like 5 to 10 years ago. and
The APC 40.
yeah, the APC 40, and then there's like this, I mean, in general, all the new devices they just launched are like sick. There's like this one, like I can't even say which one. Digga, Aaron, wie hieß denn das Ding? Was war das? Einfach nur Ableton, wie hieß das? Novation Plus? Wie hieß es? Ableton?
Du meinst das Pad, was wir hatten, ne? Das ist geil.
Yeah, I wanna check it. Anna can answer right now.
But is the question
Also
also about
natürlich,
like
of
the
course,
internal?
Yeah,
elements,
like
or
a
is
VS,
it-
like a
okay.
VST, like a VST
for
or
me-
Max for
for me,
Live or
like-
anything.
Okay, like the overdrive and the amp are really legit.
I use the
using it all the
overdrive.
time.
I use the overdrive all the time.
And then, I mean, like from Max for Live, they have LFOs, which are like super dope, in my opinion. You need them. I mean, you really need them.
You guys are working on 10 sometimes?
Yeah.
Or 11. You're using the new
11.
stuff.
We
So you use-
Using the new stuff, yeah.
So you got all these spectral resonators and the
Yeah.
hybrid reverb and all this. Okay, because I love the freeze function. In the hybrid reverb, they have this freeze function. It just makes everything hang in the air like the most scary thing that ever happened.
Yeah, there's like, for example, there's like
Some
a
modules
reverb.
have it.
There's like a reverb. It's called Verbotron, and it's simulating a room which is spinning around slowly.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
And that is
yeah, it's Max for Live. Yeah, and then
Huh.
and Max for Live has one thing. It's called color. It's like kind of like a swirly effect that kind of makes stuff sound like it's coming from an old, really old record player or like from an old
Nice.
tape. It's
I think the most underrated thing of Ableton is the gate, by the way. The gate of Ableton is magic. It's really
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
and-
so
and
good
what
to
the
know.
fuck?
yeah, and put like you can use sidechain signals as trigger signals. For example, you take a pad and just put a snare drum into the sidechain, and then you can either decide if the pad is only played with the exact envelope that the snare drum has, or exactly the opposite. So you can invert it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually something super sick. You can, because yeah, I mean it's like a crazy envelope generator for any sound you want.
And you, Anna, you can mention any kind of Ableton devices.
Actually, the new things what they have in Ableton 11 is really crazy. For example, this bones, or how it calls that you have some bones, or you have some. Yeah, you have some ball, and you have you can say how quickly it must go down and up, and which gravity Kraft, also Gravitation, gravity.
Bouncy notes.
Bouncy notes, but is that a Max for Live device or is it just a normal? What is it? Bouncy notes.
Yeah, you can create some crazy sequence from Max for Live. Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah. In this second. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Inspired by nature. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a YouTube video. If you put a Live 11 bouncy notes, then you can see it. And
Yeah, I've actually used it for
I've never
making
used it.
for play for Ableton now. In minus 24 degree, this sounds like tick 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 tick. It's from this valve. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm going to combine two questions from Instagram, which I think are kind of like not two sides of the same coin, but they're kind of related. Somebody's written, I'm not very technical. Can I still be successful in creating electronic music? Which I think is related to, there's a question, which is how important is classical music training? Somehow I feel like these questions are both related because it's about what you already know and what your possibilities are. So I'd love to hear your ideas on that.
also I think classical music theory, you need to know it. And at the same time, you need to be able to ignore it at some point and to be free. Because I tend to say that people, like some people who have no musical education, they make the sickest chords and melodies because they have a different approach. So yeah, I think both can be good and not good. Like most importantly, don't try to stick to rules. Just try to let it happen and make it happen.
I think like 80% or even more in like the electronic music scene doesn't know anything about like
Yeah,
the
like they
classical
can't like most of
I
them
agree.
can't even play chords and stuff like this. Like usually when we come to studios and then you play like 3, 4, 5 jazz chords, they're gonna be like, wow, you're like a piano player, and you're gonna be like,
yeah.
actually not. I mean, like, yeah, of course. Me and Aaron, we got piano lessons for like I think Aaron played like 10 years and I played like 5 or something like this. I don't even know it. I mean, Aaron is a good piano player, but I mean, like, it's not that we ever needed it or something like this.
No, exactly. It's something completely else for me. We are doing stuff that it's not really harmonic in the electronic music, and I think it's a lot about like the feeling that you have,
especially
a feeling
edging on it,
music.
edging on harmonics, like crossing like rules, breaking them. This makes it sound different and like intelligent to me, like and like new and like yeah.
And also I think like the people who are really having the most fun while doing it because they really love it so much, they don't need to know anything, they're just doing fire. I'm really 100% sure about that. Like everybody who's really passionate about it, just do it. Like it will be nice, definitely.
Because the other part of the question is, as somebody wrote, I'm not very technical. Can I still be successful in creating electronic music? I mean, I think people who probably are tone deaf and don't really like technology can still theoretically make some tracks and it could work out for them. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
they can do the best tracks.
What do you think, Anna, about the technical and technological side? That there's somebody saying, I'm really not a technical person. Do you think I've still got a future?
Yeah, I think it's not so important to have at the first moment to know everything about technical aspects, because you have a lot of stuff in the internet. You can in every moment you can check it and check how function this thing or this drum machine, or if you forgot something or also. But most important to start to try, how Aaron says, only try and trust your feeling and trust your emotion and yeah.
I totally agree, for sure. Okay. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. I think I was going to ask you about your learning curve. Well, a lot of people are asking, what is actually your advice for any people who are starting out in the music industry? And is there anything which really changed your learning curve? Can you share anything with them in terms
buy
of...
Ableton and start.
Exactly.
or just, if you don't have money, just get the free version on the website and just try out if you even like it yourself, and then decide later on if you buy it. But you will buy it anyway, so you can probably just buy it right now. But there's also of course, like the machines we mentioned and stuff like this is also like a possibility, but again, right now Ableton has like a 90 days free trial, so I think it's a super good moment to use it, because back then I had to buy it, and I remember, like, for us it was so much money. We were sitting on one computer and sharing the license like with 3 people or 4 people, and yeah, I mean, in general, I would say that if you want to do something, you actually really have to do it. It's not like a decision and then it's done. So you have to wake up every day with the same mindset and start doing it and doing it and doing it, and just do it all the time, and then you will get good. Like it's the same for if you want to start to get lots of muscles, then you have to train a lot. If you want to get good in music, you have to make a lot of music as well.
And you just need patience in the end. And exactly, I get it's just trial and error. If you love it enough, it probably shouldn't be that much hard work, but you cannot give up. You just got to have fun in messing it up.
Yeah,
I guess.
And what I can really recommend is to buy a good pair of headphones, to make sure you have one to really rely on, because as a beginner, your ears will have opportunity to learn a lot or nothing. And for example, if you only listen to your MacBook speakers, you won't really see what this program can do. So yeah, get some good headphones. Like, for example, Biodynamics DT990 Pro, super good headphones. You won't, like, you can never say it's too late to buy it. So if some of you are listening to me, like, this is a really good pair of headphones. This will help your ears like really help you to understand what you're actually doing.
Which ones did you recommend? I didn't hear. Did you recommend the Buyer?
Yeah, biodynamic.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's why I have it as well. Okay.
Yeah, 990 Pro. Yeah, it's really
Just
good.
checking I got the right ones.
Yeah, you got the right one. They have a closed one. It's like a 770. It's like more for recording. Like musicians have them. And then they have like a 1990 Pro or like a 7070 Pro. And if you have more money, you can go for them directly.
Yeah, really good.
Well, how much are they? Like 300, right?
I think like the
50,
DT99
How much?
Zero, they're like $100, and then the other ones are sind so 400, oder? Like $400.
Yeah, 380, 350, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Actually, we're kind of come to the end of our chat, which has been really nice. I want to say a big thanks to all these panelists, me included, all of us, but also to the people who are putting in all these questions. I'm sorry if we didn't get the time to answer all of them. There's also an online survey, right? Which is on, I assume, the Playful magazine's website or within the chat.
The chat of YouTube Live.
Oh, it's actually in the chat of the YouTube channel, huh? Now I found that out. You're learning something all the time here, right? So basically, anyone who's been watching, very interested in all your feedback. So if anybody could put stuff into that survey, it would be cool. Thanks, guys. I hope we get to connect in person.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're not so far away, right?
I know. I really want to come to your party in Oxy Garden,
Yeah,
but I'm not here. I'm
Yeah,
in Greece.
come.
I'm not here. I'm not here. It's really annoying.
Okay, I'll come.
But I will find out when you're doing something
Yeah,
after
come
that.
around.
Just schon mal Gästeliste.
I know this is the question. Does guest list still exist after the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, they got smaller and smaller.
I know they killed us, man.
Yeah,
Berliners
yeah.
are fucked.
But keep in mind that these people haven't earned money since like
I
one
know.
or 2 years. Yeah.
That's why I'm not even asking. I just think it's fucking rude to turn up and be like, "Hey, I just want to come." Do you know what I mean? So I'm not even asking generally because it's a
But
bit rude.
like a tip for these people who usually genuinely asking for guests all the time. Maybe right now is the moment to ask just for a spot to get inside. Because
Exactly.
I
Paying
understand
guest
most-
list.
Yeah. But like the pay and come in is the way. I mean, this is the way Aaron and me do it because we want
For
to
sure, support. Also, the artists who are playing at your parties, as you said, you've got a lineup of 10 people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, thanks a lot, guys. It was really fun.
Peace out. Thank you, PERERA, for all your nice moderation.
Thank you. I hope I'm going to come raving when you guys are playing, all right?
Yeah,
hopefully
we're gonna do that soon.
Or Fusion. We meet at the Fusion Tombuda. Or collective
Fusion
crying,
Tombuda.
crying,
Yeah.
crying, yeah?
Right side next to the
Right
fuck
together.
show.
I can't wait for it.
Bye, thanks.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.